We'll begin in five, four, three, two, one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ruckus and the Menace, episode number 177. I am Ruckus, always causing a ruckus.
And I'm Spinus the Menace, and I went to the and I think I would think of trying to go to a ballpark and ordering the viral 999 challenge. But unfortunately, there was a German behind the counter, and I wanted to ask for it for a sober person. His response to me, nine.
Boo. Boo. Either do the challenge or don't. You don't. I get
I
the
did.
whole argument with virgin and other mocktails and stuff like that for alcohol, but like,
I,
come
I
on.
just
If you're
don't
gonna
drink
do
alcohol.
the challenge, do the challenge. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't drink alcohol. So that's I mean, I know that you're running that like there, but you kind of like killed the joke where all of a sudden like the joke on the other side just says nine, as in like in this case, no.
Yeah, we got the reference. I just was telling you, bruh. I was causing a ruckus, which is what I do on this show. You're welcome.
Hey, but at least I was trying to throw something that was like I just wanted to see if this would land.
Oh, it landed.
Not where you wanted it.
More like not where you wanted it, but I digress.
Oh, but I think for certain people that actually would kind of get like the sense of where I was going, and that would make sense. I mean,
It's
it
okay.
was kind of the same as a the Jeff Probst joke opener,
Cool.
but we have, and it's been a little. I mean, not really been a little bit, but I mean, it's been a week, and the delay kind of was caused by a productively counterproductive beginning of last week, as and that was how I described it to my wife as we were, or that I was supposed to be in Charleston last week. That got pushed back to after a snow squall had passed through, and it was a legitimate snow squall. And so instead of going down Monday night, staying there and going through Tuesday, and we wouldn't have recorded, we could have recorded last week. But I'm actually glad we didn't, because it kind of gave us time to actually like reset.
Something like that,
And
I
also,
guess.
well, and I'll get to talk a little bit more about MLB the show and how launch week kind of went for me.
Yeah.
But
Um, as
we
can
still
I?
got projects in there. Yep, go ahead.
All right. So here's my stance currently with Good Raider Ruckus. Yes, I was very ambitious to start it and get a good amount going for production. But recently there's been, this might sound like me just bitching or just like complaining about playing the game and getting good, but I've realized last week that there was a lot of like rad activity, and that's part of the game. Like you gotta like weather the elements and whatnot, but I don't know. I've had some good and bad lobbies, but I've also just forgotten to really record what I see because like it's all random. Like you don't know who you're gonna see and whatnot. But I did befriend some people. They might show up in later videos, but I've also been playing with Nice Guy, um, Mr. Nice Guy, a man, the myth, the legend. Um,
And a
we
very dear friend of the pod.
Yep. We were playing last weekend and it was a lot of fun. It was fun teaching him certain things because he was newer to the game than Saul. Not saying that Saul is slow or just bad at the game. He's just playing it whenever he wants to and just learning when he wants. That's fine. With Nice Guy, he was more so like um, new to the game, but also just trying to ra- gather a persona or range of like what he wanted to do in the game, but also hear me out and like talk about like basic stuff that happened. And it was a natural call. It was like a natural thing where it was. I was like, oh, by the way, this connects to this, or these dots connect X, Y, and Z. Like, hey, like, make sure you check out these. And he was like, okay, good to know. And like, we were just chilling. And with Saul, like, no disrespect, me and Saul have a very comedic relationship when it comes to just funny things we do, but it's different between me and Nice Guy than it is for Saul. And that's the good dynamics that you can have for a show. And
Yeah.
I just need I just want to do more of like having a guest, but also not overdo arc raiders because if you burn yourself out over something that you don't want to do, or if you burn yourself out on just the game itself and you're just like, well, shit, I don't feel like doing this, then it is what it is. Anyways, I'm done. I digress. Let's go on.
Yeah. Well, and some stuff on my end. The Nostalgia Trippin' series will conclude next week. The Mario Party trilogy, the Wario's Battle Canyon map is currently in run with Alex Mann and I, and we are continuing this series. Probably going to be a little bit more throughout the year, as we are now 3 boards away through the first Mario Party. So it's picking up a bit, and we haven't killed each other yet. So,
Yay!
but Alex Mann, yes, in this one, he came after me stealing coins from me turn 1. I hadn't even moved a space on the board yet. And so I have already assessed threat. Like, I have already become threat. Public enemy number 1 after winning 3 straight boards in a row. How will this one
Suspicious.
fare? I I I have had to become Mr. Clutch and win games late. But Mickey K Line is officially going to be kicking off in on April 6th. And we will be introducing you guys to the Pride of Hilldale here, in just a short time. And I am enjoying so far the new stuff that they've kind of added into Road to the Show, but DD is also kept me very captivated, and there may be some sporadic opportunities to bring about a good gem from last year, especially if I'm feeling that wave come along. And it may be nothing other than to say, good old Barney Stinson, you might be back. Challenge accepted.
It
Has a
depends
chance to return.
depends on if I get a PS5 because honestly, I feel like PlayStation as a whole. So my plan is eventually to get a PS5. I don't want the Pro because it doesn't matter, but I do want the Slim because it has the better drive in it. But again, I'm gonna have
Oh,
to
I wasn't
avenue
talking
that.
your end.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying if I were to hypothetically do some content with you on MLB the Show, we could definitely do that. That's all
Yeah,
I was saying.
I was. Yeah, there was that. But I was also talking about, like, I think I am probably going to find some way to formulate challenges. Ruckus may throw something my way. I may pull over a little bit with some people if I can, to kind of throw a challenge my way or whatever. But I think I might have a couple of interesting ideas for my first challenge. But the conditions are that I cannot repeat any challenges that have already previously been done. So, although Ruckus did the Yukon Cornelius challenge, I can't play it. I can't do the Yukon Cornelius challenge. I'm not going to be doing any bunt the ball challenges because
What
I
if we
did
just
have a
did a
bunt the ball.
challenge where we just face each other a few times a year instead of just once and then making excuses about why we didn't play each other again?
Ruckus, that seems to be every year. I'm talking like challenge accepted, like having me play with a stipulation.
Why do we need stipulations when we can just, fight like real men?
Oh, I mean the challenge. I'm saying that the challenge for me playing on All Star with with this hampering is not the worst thing in the world. I am I'm going to enjoy I'm going to enjoy doing it. And that is more so because it is giving me kind of creative ways to stretch myself in playing the game. And it makes you
Okay.
have to use cards you've never thought of using.
Okay, bro.
So yes, I but that's just how my mad scientist mind wants to work with this.
Mad
But
scientist? You, Spennis the Menace, are a mad scientist? How how has it been like what 2 or 3 years since we've done this podcast and you're just like, oh, all of a sudden I'm just a fucking mad scientist, like I'm just Miss Dr. Eggman?
you hadn't noticed that with a couple of other things in content before.
Well, now you just admitted it, so
No,
Spence
I just said you
exposed
hadn't
for being
noticed.
a mad
I just,
scientist.
no, I was just saying that content, the context clues would have helped you enough. And on that note, we move on to the Eastwood segment, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I'll roll it here in a second. All right, what is good this week, Spennis? And then I'll go next.
The good this week. I am very happy to say that this good is the WNBA and the new collective bargaining agreement are making things better for professional women's basketball players to play in the United States in the long term. I am very happy with that because it seems like for the longest time, the WNBA has kind of not really gotten what seemed like a fair shake, although they were kind of like sponsored through by the NBA. However, player names like Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, and some of these other players that have kind of or that have entered the radar of what is now the WNBA and more box office names have entered the league and through the college ranks and now and NIL for those players that are eventual that were leaving college to come in, it now kind of it now has to open this door. And it took them long enough, and the WNBA is catching up. And this has included things such as codified league-wide charter air travel, salary cap exceptions for injured or pregnant players, expanded first-class travel accommodations for players across league events, 401ks, as far as significant increases in team contributions, a one-time recognition payment for WNBA veterans and retired players based on years of service, that ranging from 30K to 100K, enhanced life insurance benefits, expanded mental health coverage, expanded family plan benefits for players and their spouses slash partners. Expand like really, it's it's making the WNBA have more sophistication than where it had been. The league is expanding, so why not be in a position to make some certain things kind of work in their favor? What is the not so good this week?
Um, for our bad this week, we have NFL referees work stoppage potentially possible again. Um, the NFL Competition Committee has finalized a series of wide-ranging rule changing proposals to account for the growing possibility of a work stoppage amid tense collective bargaining negotiations with the NFL Referees Association. According to a list released by the league Tuesday, the changes would only apply if the NFL hires replacement officials, a process it began preparing for earlier this month by reaching out mostly small college officiating supervisors in an effort to develop a list of 150 replacement candidates. Current CBA is set to expire May 31st. Spanis, your
Yeah,
thoughts?
the replacement referees were already a bad idea. Had we had we not looked at anything that came about from 2019, have we not learned this lesson,
Are they
Commissioner?
bad? Are they bad to the bone?
No, I'm talking like in this case being bad, as in like this is just it's buns, it's cheeks, it's garbage,
It's
it's
ass.
it's basura
Straight ass.
and trash.
How
And
much on?
Ruckus, I will let you
All right.
before we get too far down this trail, get ready to the ugly.
All right. So we're a big anti sports gambling channel. Which is kind of funny at this point because we've talked a lot about it. This one's kind of a yin and yang effect. Um, we'll get into that here in a second. But so here is a court case that came out Tuesday, so today as a recording. I'll just do a quick speed run. A lawsuit filed Tuesday in Pennsylvania state court accused sportsbooks FanDuel and DraftKings of using data supplies by the NFL to offer a known addictive product, as well as VIP hosts to encourage to plan to keep betting, eventually leading to gambling disorders and other financial losses and bad shit. The NFL and its data partner Genius Sports are named defendants in the suit. In addition to FanDuel, Sports Kings, and five sportsbook employees were assigned to the. Okay, whatever. The NFL declined comment. ESPN has reached out to DraftKings, FanDuel, and Genius Sport for comment. Um, the complaint alleges that DraftKings and FanDuel use NFL's live data feed to offer in-game micro betting, a form of gambling believed to be more addictive. So they were kind of more unaware based off of what they did for betting before. So, anyways, it all changed when FanDuel and DraftKings started doing the apps with compliant states within just a few years of placing their first micro bets on this sports apps. They talk about losing everything. The attorney said Thompson and Sage were enticed to keep betting by VIP hosts offering perks. Thompson started betting with FanDuel around October 2020 and DraftKings in 2022 and lost approximately 1.83 million. Now, let me, out of anyone else in the world, explain to you how this is bonkers. Dude, how the F do you lose approximately 1.83 million in sportsbook betting? What's your lifestyle like? What's like your net worth? Like, are the did they come from nothing to try to do this shit, or was it like they were having steady betting and they were able to manage keeping the bills being paid because like there's service fees and all that stuff. But how do you know when enough is enough with 1.83 million losses? That's a lot of goddamn money. I don't even have 1.83 million dollars on my bank account right now. If I did, I probably wouldn't bitch at all. I'd go to my job and be comfortable saying what I want. Just saying.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, and they're saying that VIP hosts, yeah, they're saying like they're what in the world?
I wanted to say more, but part of me just feels like that's just insult to injury because they've already
Oh,
did the damage. But
oh,
dude,
micro
1.83
betting.
million could like put someone through. That would be a good retirement plan, and just in general, like that could like put a bunch of people through college eventually, like a future child or benefit for another degree. You never know. Like that's a lot of goddamn money. I'm
Oh,
done.
micro betting is such a.
Stupid
It's like
thing.
it's one thing whenever you're betting the game. Like there's one thing when it comes to that. But these micro bets that you're trying to do prop after prop after prop after prop after prop, like to try and do that, and all of a sudden you lose that much, that is quite another.
I've
Like
heard it.
micro betting,
I've
pitch
Go ahead.
rigging. This is it's the same like issue with pitch rigging. People micro bet over what pitches baseball players will throw.
Yeah. It,
Free throw, free throw. Like this is the micro betting is the biggest thing that we have to go. That has to go. The We are not necessarily sports betting people
I've
because
done it
I
once because I thought it would be cool, and then I realized that like the even if you do get bonus money from the bonus bets, you got to use it, and that's pretty targeting. That's pretty much targeting an audience to, like keep betting, but like I thought,
yeah,
oh sweet,
that's
let's see how we could do with this, but like I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna get rich quick. Like that's how a lot of people react when they see a lot of money stare in their eyes. Like you got to realize how much you had to actually work for that versus just
yeah.
getting really goddamn lucky.
And there's a sense of also like gotta have some self control with it too.
Yes, that's why I was saying, dude, if I was betting, which I don't bet, but I was just saying, like, I think the max I would go into a casino with is probably like 150 just to start. And if I lose that, like, on a random
That's it.
circumstance, then that's it. Like, I'm not going, like, maybe I'd probably start it slow at a casino. I'd probably, like, order a drink and then just, like, play a little bit. And then if shit went south, just, like, chill out at the bar, just look casual, look at your phone. You don't have to like keep going for more drinks, but you can at least just like finish what you got and then just get the fuck out.
Yeah, like you don't need to do too much.
Right.
Besides, like I mean, and think like all these. Like my wife and I went on a honeymoon or on a honeymoon trip on a cruise, and you would not be surprised at all about how full the casino there could get
Yep.
on a cruise ship.
And there's also that like one saying of like if you don't care about like quitting something like especially cigarettes. There was like this meme where it's like if you're trying to quit cigarettes, imagine being this old granny that's on oxygen while also smoking a cigarette while also on the slot machine in Vegas. Like, it's just like, jeez.
Like, dude. Yeah, no. It's like these people just need to get on. Like, where was the stoppage? Where was the ultimate get help of 1-800 Gambler? Where was like where were the people that were trying to tell these people stop, slam the brakes?
I feel like um the one thing that they have against the casino is, oh, did they just like screw us over because we spent so much money and then they were just wanting to take it? It's like, dude, you're betting this away. You sign an agreement and whatever just to like for them to be able to say, okay, we're going to turn this another way. That would be their only plea is like, oh, they like tricked us, ha ha ha. But like obviously the casino's gonna have a more like precise way of saying, okay, yeah, you done fucked up.
Well, there is a four-word phrase that is sent for this, and I think then we
The
can move
house
on to the high
always
heat.
wins.
The house always wins. That's right. Yep. I mean, and that is why you don't sports bet or really do much of it. Because
Or
ultimately, at
at
the end of the
least do it
day,
responsibly, Jesus Christ. And also,
yes,
if you're an athlete, and you're trying to bet, no. Just
no,
why?
stop it. Stop it. You're already making millions of dollars. Why are
Do
you
they need
trying to go for even more millions of dollars
use that
from
money that you're going to
gambling?
bet on sports betting for food and fast food? Stop, get some help.
I was I was also going to say that I think that you don't really like don't use your content like so many people are like okay the bigger things you might want to like use for your spending are endorsement like just your endorsement stuff. That's all the extra that's coming in. Let the money that you're earning from your actual contract be the stuff you either live off of or build the nest egg so that you know that you're not whenever you retire, you still got more to live off of.
Yeah, if it was that easy.
That's the issue sometimes is that when it comes to that and people with money and all that and trying to handle that responsibly, logic does not always exist in that dojo. And on that note, we move on to the high heat where we get to conclude our MLB previews. And we are in the American League. And I think this time we go backwards here, Ruckus.
Okay.
I think we start I think we went east to west for the NL. I think we go west to east for the AL.
Okay.
And these takes were kind of stuff that I thought of, but Ruckus found agreement here. And we're going
Okay.
to start with the Seattle Mariners. The Pacific Northwest region of the country continues to be an exciting sports hub, with the Seahawks playing well and just winning the Super Bowl. And this Mariners team should make it feel like it's no different than football season. I believe the Mariners are poised for another deep run.
They just need all the bells and whistles to work like they should in order to keep that going. Like
Continue consistent production like they had last year. Oh yeah, I
it
don't have
needs
a
to
doubt. I think
it needs to be continuous to get to the postseason and get it all because they were kind of slowing down near then. But who wouldn't slow down at
they are.
that point in
I
the
believe
season?
they are the favorites to win the AL West, no doubt. I think they're going to get into the playoffs pretty handily with the way this division is. But I think the team that probably has the best chance of chasing them is the young hobo baseball team that is the Athletics, the team with currently no real home. unless you call Sacramento home. With the young core that has a high ceiling that can consistently make things exciting for them as they prepare for their Vegas home soon. I think the A's could very well be a wild card team this year, or at least be very much in the hunt with it. Because I mean, you've got Jacob Wilson, Lawrence Butler, Tyler Soderstrom, Nicky Nukes,
Sorry,
Shea Langolier.
I was looking at when the actual stadium was being completed, and it says scheduled for 2028. So we'll just see what happens
Yeah,
in 2 years.
yeah. So they're kind of bumming it. They're kind of bumming it for another 2 more years with no home, unless you call Sacramento truly home. The Angels, they probably need an angel in the outfield to keep Mike Trout healthy. But on top of that, so long as they can exercise the injury demons that have plagued them, they have potential to make this season just a net improvement.
Agreed.
And the Astros, a roster construction that has a higher likelihood of the words Houston, we have a problem, rather than going and blasting off to a World Series run. I think we're on the in the curtain calls of major core players from this roster very soon. And with this, I notably am talking about Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, and possibly even Jordan Alvarez.
Yep, we'll see how his health holds up because it didn't hold up very good this season, and I was kind of pissed because I had him as a DH, and I was like, God damn it, he would have been perfect with Shohei, or like as a outfielder guy that I can just scapegoat because he's technically a right fielder, or wherever the fuck you want to put him.
For left fielders, I think.
Yeah, he was probably more left field. You're right.
Yeah. And for the Texas Rangers, as long as they can avoid the roundhouse kick to the head, known
Hook
as
shot.
the injury bug, pitching wise, and develop solid identities for second base and right field after getting rid of Marcus Semien and other players that they haven't, right? They could be a low key wild card contender. And as far as the joke on this, rest easy, Chuck Norris.
Thank you, Chuck Norris.
And now, Ruckus, I will let you go ahead and take it away about talking about your Royals and the AL Central.
Oh boy, where to start? So, congratulations to Team Venezuela for getting the dub over Bobby Witt Jr. Um, I feel like for the USA baseball team, it was more of just potential that wasn't there, but also they could have also had better starting pitching or had better decision making for the starting pitching that was going for the team. You could have saved Paul Skeens for the championship game, but instead you went for some normie that no one really ever heard of. But I digress. Anyways, Team Venezuela, good job. Salvi got his WBC trophy, and Michael Garcia got MVP. Woohoo! Anyways, the World Baseball Classic has raised the profile of interest for players on this roster. If the players who played there can pick up momentum from that where they left off, this season should be decent. Um, I say decent, even though Spence put it really good. I I just want to see what happens. Like, put pen to paper. I'll see
I
it to
think they
believe
will
it.
finish second. I'm going to say this. They finish second in the division.
Dude,
They will be
I
they
think
will be second place in the AL Central.
I think they show who a true king could be for the Central, but at the same time, let's see what happens with the Tigers. Let's see what happens with the Twins. We know that the White Sox may have something up their sleeve, but they don't have
Oh,
Moncada anymore.
no.
He's gone.
Tigers are
You
for
don't
real. They're going
have
to win the AL.
the White Sox are probably going to still be in last place, but we don't know by how much. But we'll see what happens with that catcher slash first baseman that they got from Korea or Japan or whatever.
Jackie was actually Murakami. Murakami, I think, is going to be slated at first. I don't think he's a catcher.
I don't know why I thought he would be a catcher, but
No,
you're
he's
probably
no, he's not a catcher. I think he's no, no. They have him listed at third. I think he's a corner infielder.
he looks like he could be a catcher though with his size.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, with his size. Yeah, I mean, but he's 6'2", 213. That's not outside the realm of really playing anywhere on an MLB diamond because all of their every single catcher for the White Sox is between 5'10" and 6'0", and the one that I think likely will probably start the most games out of that is going to be Kyle Teal.
Depending on how his therapy is going from the World Baseball Classic, because he left with a knee injury, I thought.
Yeah, but Montgomery, I think, is likely going to be the starting third baseman for this White Sox roster.
So
But
a Yohan Moncada replacement in a sense.
um, not exactly on Moncada. Moncada batted switch. Moncada was a switch hitter.
Okay, we'll see what happens
But
numbers wise.
but yes, I think the Tigers will win. I really do believe the Tigers will win the AL Central. The Royals finish second, then the Guardians, then the Twins, and the White. I think the White Sox are still at the bottom of the barrel for now, and that's how I kind of wrote these.
All right, let's keep
But
going.
yeah, the Guardians truly rebuilding, or another attempt at a playoff run. It's hard to tell with how this roster is constructed, combined with how Stephen Vogt manages it. Yes, because I think Stephen Vogt is a really good manager. And the reason why I say this is because it seems like he manufactures more wins than what we really give him credit for.
We'll see the record.
I mean, if you look at how they've made the playoffs, especially with having Shane Bieber traded away and Jose Ramirez being a cornerstone. But yeah, they're going to be without Emmanuel Clase due to the pitch rigging scandal. So it's just hard to tell because I swear it seems like the way Vogue kind of manages the team, it's like sometimes games that you think they're not going to get, he somehow is able to find a way to manufacture a win. Now, for the Tigers, I believe that they have a roster that makes Shere Khan look like a little kitten in terms of how intimidating they can be on paper. I think the Tigers can legitimately have a deep playoff run. May not be a favorite, may not be a 100% favorite for the World Series just yet, but
We'll
I
see
think the
what
Tigers have.
happens.
I think. Have you seen what that roster looks like?
I just feel
Especially with the
like
players.
as long as Justin Verlander stays healthy, as long as Tarek Skubal stays healthy, and the rest of their team, they should be good as far as pitching.
Scooble's definitely going to be the big one that's important because a Cy Young one. But they picked up Framber Valdez. That's going to help out their rotation. They've got Kenley Jansen in the pen. They've got Casey Mize that they can kind of continue as a project. But that lineup, all the players on their lineup have some functionality. Torkelson's starting to come in and dial himself in. Gleyber Torres, McKinstry, Colt Keith, Javi Baez has moved to center field. Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green. They've got legitimate pieces. And AJ Hinch, you can discredit a lot of the stuff involving the sign stealing all you want. But Hinch has shown that he is a legitimate manager in baseball. That's why I think the Tigers could make something happen.
We'll see.
Should
We'll
all
see.
go. The Twins, I say expectations are curbed for this roster. If they can solve the math problems of figuring out how to maximize their potential, they can have a decent season. And yes, it is beyond
Little
more
big
than
league.
just. Oh, I was just actually marking the like actually legitimate problem. Like this is more than just simply if Joe can paint a house in 3 hours and Sam can paint a house in 5 hours. How long does it take to do together? There's some other math. There's some other maths that need to be mathed. And then for the Chicago White Sox, it's a team that looks more like a jigsaw puzzle that was freshly opened out of the box in terms of the roster construction.
And
They've
also
got
they
all the
just
pieces.
also all of a sudden you hear, "Do you want to play a game?"
I was going to say more so like, where are the edge pieces? Where's the corners? Like,
You
where are
don't
the
just see
corners?
you just don't see a random chainsaw that's just spiraling out of control, and it's like, "Oh no, he cut his head off.
You
Who's next?" That almost probably sounds like Batman more than Jaw Jigsaw,
it
but
sounds
whatever.
like it sounds a little more like a Christian Bale Batman than Jigsaw.
We're just gonna tell you that we're not Bruce Wayne or Batman. We're simply uh
Simply.
the Saw guy. Yeah, totally the Saw guy. Not totally Batman, but I'm done doing that shit.
Oh,
I thought I had something good. I bombed, that's okay.
yeah. And you get on me for throwing a punny joke there at the beginning of the episode.
I was giving you shit, my guy.
Oh, we now will move on to the East, where the Yankees are. This Bronx tale may be more in the tone of living on a prayer when it comes to outfield depth. It's like as if the Yankees do not have very many pure outfielders. It's like their infielders have to be super utility.
I mean,
The
that's
only
kind of the
three,
bread and butter for most teams that are actually good enough to get to the big dance, in a sense, nowadays. Because, like, the Astros kind of formulated that, like, years ago.
yeah, but who out of these names do you throw over there? I mean, Jazz Chisholm, okay. You may move him over to center field if you need to possibly
Please.
give Trent.
Give Trent
I mean,
Grisham, like,
Ryan,
left field or right field. I don't give a what you do. But Jazz Chisholm ain't shit when it comes to his power. He's better off as an outfielder. Just saying.
and that's what I'm saying. Like they put Jazz Chisholm in center field. Maybe move Ryan McMahon to left, to
Perhaps.
left on occasion. I mean, they basically have to have a bunch of infielders that
Judge
also can
is
do some
right
super.
field, right or left? Or
Judge
is
is
he
right.
mainly
Right.
okay?
Aaron Judge is right field. They ESPN has Cody Bellinger listed at left and Trent Grisham in center.
I wonder if eventually they kick Juan Carlos Stanton to the curb
He is currently the designated hitter.
again. When do they do it? Because I want him to be gone if I was a Yankees fan.
I don't know.
Dude,
That's a tough.
he's more of a paper bones than Mike Sweeney ever was as a Royal. Like, if you compared their stats, they'd probably be similar when they became like forever just forged in the contract to become like just forever a Yankee or forever a Royal. Do you think that Giancarlo won over Mike Sweeney, or do you think Mike Sweeney kind of had a say?
Uh, I think Mike Stanton, also later known as
Oh,
Giancarlo.
oh, my bad. Mike Stanton. Okay, Mike Stanton versus Mike Sweeney. Give me a goddamn break.
I'm gonna say Giancarlo. I think Giancarlo has been overall better than Sweeney. I mean, Giancarlo has an NL MVP.
Oh, God forbid. But where'd that get him?
His contract with the Yankees.
Oh, God forbid. Like that's gotten any better. Oh, I tweaked a hammy. Oh no, I can't swing a ball without looking like I hit it like a golf swing. Oh no. I look like I have potential, but then I just kind of just pretend to be like J Lo. Straight up, like Juan Carlo's a joke. I would rather have Alex Gordon in the outfield than Juan Carlo because at least Alex Gordon can play the goddamn outfield and fuck up his swing
Why
and
not
just
have Giancarlo
keeps.
Stanton playing in the outfield?
Either
You
way,
got a
I'm
you
just
got a better
saying,
chance
at
of winning
least Alex Gordon played the part better than Juan Carlo. Juan Carlo just like, oh shit, like I just definitely could have swung at that and hit or ripped it, and then he's like, oh my hammy, oh no, like 2 months later, and it's just like, it's like the Daughtry meme. Ain't no surprise, I will pick it tomorrow. And then he's just out
you
for like 3 or 4 months.
you are arguing over a 6'1", 220-pound left fielder versus a 6'5", 245-pound designated hitter. You're comparing it out.
A guy that used to actually play in the outfield, God forbid, before he had paper bones. I am not going to let you win this because he used to play the goddamn outfield, Spennis. He actually used to be something versus just being considered a designated hitter by the Yankees because, God forbid, he couldn't keep his hips in check or he swung funny and then he just was like, ow, ooh, ow, I deserve 15 more million than this bullshit that you put me through. Like, God. Like, it's just rough being a baseball player, apparently, for some when it comes to their health. And God forbid Juan Carlos Stanton makes more than me in a salary.
You're talking about a player in his age 36 season, and when he was playing the outfield in Miami, he was in his mid 20s. He was 27 when he left the Marlins for the Yankees.
Oh, God forbid.
Yeah, you're talking about a player who is not necessarily aged well.
He's like the Timu Rock, Dwayne the Rock Johnson, like dead ass. Like if you went to some person and they were like, hey, uh, this is Dwayne the Rock Johnson, they just go like, oh yeah, I could totally get that because they wouldn't know depth perception all that much, but
I'm
you
not
know,
quite completely smelling what you're cooking here, but I'm gonna let you have that.
I'll just burn.
not,
I'll just burn it.
I just said
We're burning
I'm
it.
not completely smelling what you're cooking here. I'm just gonna let you have it.
Yeah, I already destroyed the burner phone. We're good. High
oh,
heat.
oh wow! Breaking news: Hubert Davis has been fired from North Carolina.
For what? For
But
just being a
oh,
shitty coach?
killing an exit. Killing exit mostly, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Hubert Davis did win a national championship with the Tar Heels. I
When?
believe he
Since 2018? Has it been
But
almost
yeah,
8 years
yeah,
since he won the
he was an
big
assistant coach.
dance?
Yeah, he actually was an assistant coach. He was an assistant coach for the national champion North Carolina in 2017.
So they won the national championship in 2018 then?
No, no, they won the national championship in 2017.
Okay.
But the coach of North Carolina at the time, it was the 2016, 2017. Yeah, it was Roy Williams that was still coaching them, but Hubert Davis was the assistant coach that ultimately got promoted up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw Roy Williams look very sad in a viral clip or whatever they had for March
yeah,
Madness.
yeah. But we'll get to that here later. I knew just kind of a breaking story that I kind of saw as I was trying to eventually find my way back around.
You're good.
But for the Orioles, it really comes down to two options as to how the season's going to go. It does well and things hold together, or things just go left, and a massive fire sale could be expected around deadline time. Because I think we're in make or break right now for Adley Rutschman.
What was that Aerosmith song where they start going they start saying falling down dun 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 dun, dun, dun.
Um, why are you
Yes, I'm
why are you
moving.
why are you going through this talking about love in an elevator?
Oh, that was Love in an Elevator. My bad.
Yes,
Um, I'm
that
just
is love
saying,
in an
like,
elevator.
but
It's not necessarily the
besides the
right
point
song.
of the song talking about love in an elevator, like, is it coming down? Like, are things gonna actually improve compared to whatever the hell happened to the Orioles,
I
which
think
didn't
the
happen?
I think the more appropriate song that I think you
I'm
would
sorry, Adley
almost
Rushman didn't
song
perform.
title
Neither
wise.
did Gunnar Henderson. I'm calling you out right now, Spennis. Your Orioles did not perform. They fucked around,
I'm
and they definitely found out.
I'm a Red Sox fan, my guy, but at the same time, I don't despise them. But I'm saying that Adley Rudd, like the Orioles, may be more in an Aerosmith song titles of "Living on the Edge," but Adley Rushman, because Sam Basayo has come up, been called up, and he is a younger catcher. I think Adley could be on the way out, legitimately. Like he could get aced out of a spot. Pete Alonso coming in, who knows what ends up going there with that? You've got, I mean, you've got young prospects that have come up through, but at the same time, they really haven't had very many key players get out of Baltimore in terms of trading for future prospects or any other type of things to truly build them to build around it. And this is going to end one of two ways. And either things are going to go well and the Orioles get back to a form, or it comes crashing down. And I wouldn't be surprised if they start cutting some losses. That's all I'm getting at.
Yep,
Yeah,
you're
Gunnar
good.
Henderson, but Gunnar Henderson also at the same time, you kind of got to cut him a little bit of a break because he's only 24. Rushman has had a little bit of an up and down climb just to try and get to this position. He's 28. I think they have a better chance of dealing him than dealing Adley than Gunner.
Yeah,
If you're really,
I
if you're
do
really
agree with that.
breaking it down. The next team we're going to talk about here is the Tampa Bay Rays, and they're like the Rays have always been the poster child of getting a whole lot while spending very little. They are the bang for your buck organization where they, and this is the bang for your buck organization that always seems to get it, always seems to get that maximum bang for the buck. And and as a Red Sox fan, like knowing that about the Rays, sometimes it just annoys the daylights out of me how good they get it. Like how they can get it so right so frequently by spending as little as possible.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain that any better than you just did.
I mean, we used to be able to say that about the Marlins. We used to. There were two
Before
different instances.
the GM went from the Marlins to the Pirates, right? Correct?
I was gonna say before Derek G, like years before even the Marlins have won two World Series in their franchise
What
history.
was the GM's name of the Marlins at that point in the when he won the World Series with them? Trying to remember.
Um, yeah, I am going to say I'm gonna look at the GM of the 2003 Marlins. Larry Beinfest.
That might have been him, but he then eventually went to the
Yep.
Pittsburgh Pirates.
And then Dombrowski was the manager of the 97 Marlins, was the GM there. And the manager there was Jim Leland.
Okay.
But Beinfest, where did Beinfest end up? That's the real question here. Um, Beinfest, where did he end up after his time with the Marlins? Um, Larry Beinfest was a former executive, was president of baseball operations.
Let's not worry too much about it. I feel like right
Yeah,
now we're
I think
putting
he
more
was there
time
with the
into it.
Marlins the entire time, like during his time there. Yeah, but last but not least, we have the Toronto Blue Jays. And basically, the Toronto Blue Jays didn't necessarily have to rebuild or really reload. They just kind of retooled.
And also,
Retooled
that you Savage guy is going to be out for
on
some time too.
Yetovich. Well, I mean, but you can, but with, if you look at the construction of what they have, that you have you have Jose Barrios, Shane Bieber, Dylan Cease, Kevin Gossman, Mad Max. You can you can afford a bit of time for Yesevich to come in. You have so much there that you can afford it. The Blue Jays spent this offseason. And
For
I
sure.
think for the better part of it, I think they got most of it. It looks like they seriously got a better part of it right.
We'll
And you
see.
got a couple of guys that can kind of spot around playing third and rotating around
It was
infielders.
really just like patching up holes that needed to be filled because like they don't have Brandon Lau anymore. They don't have Josh Lowe anymore. Like some key pieces that they had a few years ago that they thought was
Oh, They
gonna
let they
bloom just
they
didn't do
let
it at the
Bo
right
go.
time.
Yeah, they let Bo go.
Right. That's true too.
So it's and you got plenty. I mean, you got plenty of pieces. And last but not least, I'm actually going to talk about my Boston Red Sox. And it is, I am actually, I'm going to say that I think I'm actually in a positive, positive mood about it. Fresh faces called up from the farm system as last year was closing out. Limited spending on new faces to build depth for positions. God willing, postseason run. And I'm going to say that I don't think it looked like there was a lot of overspending. I mean, Connolly Early is going to be the last starter, but I mean, trading for Sonny Gray, getting Patrick Sandoval, Ranger Suarez. So I think they've got a bunch of like healthy pieces, and most of this core that they have coming up. I mean, Casas is 26, Durbin 26, Marcelo Meyer 23. I think they brought up Monasterio at 28. I think they might have actually signed him. Um, I mean, Wilson Contreras at 33, that gives it gives them an emergency catcher if they need it, and let Tristan Casas play more first if he stays healthy enough. Trevor Story can be covered by Monasterio or IKF if something goes wrong.
That is true too.
And then, I mean, they have enough things to cover multiple things in case something happens. And as a Red Sox fan, I'm kind of excited for it. I'm ready to see where this is going for them. Hopefully, it goes right to another good playoff run. And on that note, I think we moved to the color commentary.
Yep.
And this is a brief vibe check. What are the vibes going into these certain things that have kind of been going on? And I think we start with Kevin Durant passing Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list. And Durant also said it was like, I got four more players to pass. Like
Good for good mindset. Be better than your opponent. Especially if he did better than LeBron, maybe there'd be more of a GOAT contender between him and um Michael Jordan.
I'm gonna say this. I have my doubts on Kevin Durant making any sort of catch. I do not believe that he will catch LeBron. Kevin Durant is already 37. And Durant is taller, taller than LeBron, lighter than LeBron is probably his bigger piece of this. But with Durant being at fifth, he is he is currently 1,300, 1,309 away from catching Kobe. He then has to get another 3,000 after that, virtually 3,000 after that to catch Karl Malone. Another 2,000 after that to pass Kareem. So he's still got like 10,000 or really over 10,000 points to go. And LeBron is currently at 43,253 points. And because he's still active and count. And count. So yeah, he might, I think he gets Kobe. He might get Karl Malone.
We'll just have to see.
But I I think he could healthily catch Kareem with at least a couple of good seasons, but I think he is running very much out of time. I don't think there's enough time left. Bam Adebayo scores 83 in a single game, passing Kobe. And then Spoelstra pulling a Conor McGregor and apologizing to absolutely nobody over it. I'm going to say
That
Bam Adebayo. I'm absolutely happy for him. I'm wondering if Bam Adebayo was one that worked with Kobe Bryant at any point in time.
he probably did.
He probably did. Yeah. I think there was no indication that Bam Adebayo formally worked or trained under Kobe Bryant, but he described Kobe Bryant as one of his idols growing up. So it meant something to him to do it. But I think as far as the Spoelstra pulling the Conor McGregor, oh man, I knew that Spoelstra was going to be a savage about it. It gave him the sunglasses over the face and just that deal with it, the thug life meme. Yes, Spoelstra was that was Spoelstra. Simple as that. And then last but not least, the early rounds of March Madness 2026. We are now down to 16 teams remaining in the tournament. Do you have a sense of you enjoying some things in this tournament? Or is it kind of the same as last year where it just got a little boring?
Um, I feel like there's not as many underdog story teams where it's like, oh, like with like the Chicago team that had that old lady that was like 90 something years old, Leola, yeah, Leola Chicago. Like wasn't there also a California team that was supposed to be very good? I just couldn't remember because it was like a week ago.
I mean, the few things that definitely came about. Um, the defending national champions are out as the second lowest seed to make it into the Sweet 16 is 9 seeded Iowa.
Yeah.
Nebraska, who had never won a March Madness game in their school's history, has now won 2 of them and is playing Iowa in the Sweet 16. The college basketball player known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar got to the second round with St. Louis, but Michigan kind of blew them out. Texas stunned Gonzaga to make it, becoming a first 4 team to make it to the Sweet 16. And yes, Texas is an 11 seed. The the East region of the bracket is purist central, as you have the School of Duke, the coach of Rick Pitino coaching St. John's, the coach of Tom Izzo at Michigan State, and the blue blood that is UConn. All that in one section of the bracket. Normally, they get scattered around and typically get knocked out by other teams before they even get a chance to cross paths in one section. This is the actual section that is currently in Washington, D.C. That is scary.
Yeah, I don't know, cause I did see that KU didn't even make it to this Elite Eight or
Yeah,
Sweet 16, and
yeah,
that's fucking
because
sad
they got
too.
knocked out by St. John's. They got
Yep.
knocked out by St. John's to get there.
I think Bill Self, if anything, he might do one more year, but I'm not even sure because like I haven't heard anything really about their roster unless I actually pay attention to the local news, which I usually
I mean,
don't.
Peterson Peterson, I think, will probably could potentially be a decent NBA player. And then John Calipari over in Arkansas now has to take on Arizona. The general overrated team is taking on the 11 seed with number 2 seed Purdue. And then Iowa State takes on Tennessee and Illinois and Houston. So I'm going to say I think we're now starting to get to the point where the tournament gets interesting. I think there's some good buildups for matchups,
Hmm.
but I think the road to get here, it was so anticlimactic. I mean, High Point with the guy who made so many threes, scoring his first 2-point basket to upset Wisconsin. Then you had BYU get stunned by Texas. Duke having a scare against Siena early. Florida getting knocked off by Iowa. Kentucky and Santa Clara having a great back and forth game. So I'm going to say that really March Madness has had its moments, but there really hasn't been anything major that just overly
Didn't
wows
McNeese
you.
get eliminated though, like early on? McNeese with Amir
Oh,
Khan.
oh yeah, they didn't even. Yeah, they got knocked out by Vanderbilt.
And wasn't that the college that he transferred to with that coach too?
Um, I'm not sure if that was the case. I think it
I thought they
was it.
transferred to another college like last year, but I just couldn't remember what it was, and I didn't know if you remembered it.
Wait, you talking to Amir Khan?
Yes. I thought they transferred to another college.
He was in his second season managing McNeese. He transferred back actually.
Okay. So the coach that was with him transferred out then.
Yeah, yeah. He initially transferred to NC State and then transferred back.
Okay. Well, for the people that are wondering what the hell happened to uh Oricon, well, now you know. And also the guy that was apparently targeted with him whenever I read this last year around the time whenever the McNeese uh college got eliminated, they were talking about transferring together from what I gathered. And I guess he was just like, screw that, I'm
I
just gonna go my own way.
know there was a coach transfer that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar transferred from Indiana State to St. Louis to move with his coach to to stay with the coach that he was playing under.
It's just interesting to see the dynamic change between a year here and there. Because I thought both the manager or whoever was with Amir Aurora Khan was going with that guy, and I thought it was a college other than McNeese, and that's why I was curious about it. But we can move on. We can look at it
Yeah.
later and divulge. We
So
can have that be a
and
topic.
we
If someone
now
wants to comment and talk about it, that's cool too. Like we're all about it. We're all about engagement on this channel. Type in whatever you think about me. I don't care if you make a hate comment. I don't give a shit. Just engage in the community.
yep. And now we move on to our stud and dud of the week. And think I will at least go first with stud,
Go for it.
and I think
Just do your stud
stud,
and
stud,
dud. I don't care. Do
yep.
stud and dud.
Well, Buck safety, the fiance of Antoine Winfield Jr., the Buccaneer safety, rushing to the aid for a pedestrian that was struck by a vehicle while they were on the way to the Fanatics flag football game. She stayed with the with the patient and or with the pedestrian that was hit and of course the proper care and it and I just think that for that to be a story that ESPN brought along, especially because it wasn't even about the player, it kind of shows how really I'm going to say for Antoine Winfield, the phrase "behind every man is a great woman." This this is an example. And then my dad goes to Cam Scattaboo, the
One half of
Giants
the
running back.
creatine Caucasians.
Yeah, and he was not necessarily the smartest or the brightest crayon in the box for this,
The
as he
few, the proud, the Marines.
had some disparaging remarks about CTE and asthma being excuses on a it was a separate outside interview. And really, if you want to put those into perspective, that I'm going to say, as far as asthma attacks can really be a dangerous thing
Yes. I
if
used
they
to
are
have
not
it, but
managed.
I grew out of it. But again,
Yeah,
Spanish, sorry. Didn't want to steal your thunder.
yeah. Oh no, I'm saying like it's not really a joke. And CTE definitely isn't a joke because the brain is one of your vital organs in your body. And for all of the trauma that comes about from playing football, especially at these high levels, some screws are bound to get loose, maybe even go missing.
Terry
And
Bridgewater.
Teddy Britt, like I don't even know why you said that one. I know Antonio Brown has at least more than a few missing.
I was talking about the Steelers quarterback.
Wait, they signed it?
No, I'm saying
Yeah,
Terry. My bad.
very. You you need Ben Roethlisberger,
No, Terry.
a Bradshaw, Terry Bradshaw.
Yes.
I don't know, Terry Bradshaw. He seems a lot more intact than what you really would think. Just consider.
I don't know why I confused the two, but I guess
But
that's okay.
I'll let you go ahead and move on to your stud and dud here, Ruckus, before we
All right,
move into life cam action.
sounds good. My stud for this episode for 177 is Michael Garcia receiving his MVP award for the World Baseball Classic Championship. Shout out Venezuela for that. But yeah, Michael, good for you getting recognition because you haven't really gotten that from the Major League Baseball league and all that good stuff. But here's where the dead lies. Here lies Tua talking like he actually could be a good quarterback, but just says what the media wants to hear. Especially because let me look at the source for that.
Well,
He said, "If you're
I
here's the quote: If you're looking at last year, my play wasn't up to the standard of the way I've been playing the football the past 3 years since the new contract." What does he mean by that? Is this
he's not
before
wrong.
is this
He's not wrong.
before he was throwing out game signs because of his concussion stuff? Like, I feel like he's forcing it on himself when when he was playing with Miami. I feel like he was kind of doing it to himself. Like he would just like instead of doing the smart move he would just straight up put his head on the line. And it was he was doing that even after his contract extension. So how do you try to comprehend that now after you know all the
Okay,
details?
so there are four notable concussions from Tua Tagovailoa's career. There were two in 2022, or really two kind of back to back, or one on back to back weeks, one that was confirmed in December 22, and then he had one in September 24. So this was during those moments when Tua Tagovailoa was having good enough years. He played 13 games in 2022, completed 64.8% of his passes. I'm going to round that up to say 65. So it was about 65% of his passes, 3,548 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 picks for his career high in quarterback rating for the season of 105.5. 2023, he plays the whole year, leads the league in passing yards, completing nearly 70% of his passes, 29 touchdowns, 14 picks. And 2024, he completed nearly 73% of his passes, a career high, 2,867 yards, 19 touchdowns, 7 picks. Granted, he only played 11 games because of the second concussion, because of that concussion in 2024. But Tua Tagovailoa, as far as saying the 3 years leading up to 2025, where he played horrible with a career high in interceptions in a season and not necessarily really major like career lows anywhere except for QBR. Tua is not wrong in terms of the numbers in his statement. The numbers actually back up the quote. The numbers back it up. If you're kind of picking up where I'm going with this.
Yep, totally.
So yes, like Tua Tagovailoa is not necessarily BSing, but is he really all that great? Not really. But if you're considering the argument of what he's saying for where he was at, the numbers actually correlate very well with what he's talking about. So he's actually speaking like he's got some competence.
Yep.
And now we move on to lights, camera, action. And I'm sure Ruckus has a few different things that he was playing along this 2 week break.
Yep. I mainly just been playing Battlefield 6, Resident Evil Requiem, and also Arc Raiders, as you could tell from the series. But also for the watching, I've been watching one battle after another. Um, I also saw and realized that Mark Norman had his comedy special on Netflix come out. Not too pleased. That one was pretty good. I like Mark Norman comedy. But other than that, I think Fish Tank came out recently out of the blue. It's a live stream show where they have people just kind of chilling, doing their thing, and or causing mayhem. It just depends on the challenge that's happening at the time. But it feels like if if you were to grade it, it would be more like if it was GTA Online, but like in real life, and people were just in the house, just living there, and they had a random challenge they had to do. It doesn't matter what kind of challenge it is. Like, just watch it if you're really interested. If not, don't worry about it. But it's one of those things where you just kind of have a recap of what happens with it, and that's what I've been watching. But other than that, I've been looking at tech channels and whatnot, like Linus Tech Tips and Jay's Two Cents, and just watching those and just keeping up to date with tech and chilling. Spanish, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, the missus and I together have been watching been watching Survivor 50, the new Padma Lakshmi cooking show called America's Culinary Cup, and Top Chef season 23. I have started on my own Celebrity Jeopardy All Stars and am still watching the final season of The Neighborhood. And though it really hasn't gotten as funny as far as the final season of The Neighborhood going into the second half of it, it's still not overall a terrible show. But as far as playing, I've messed around a bit with Fire Emblem Engage, Pokemon Pokopia, and then I also have been messing around with MLB The Show 26. And gameplay wise, there were a lot of quality of life changes. And I think Ruckus will enjoy this one. You now can blur out the batter's eye in your camera whenever you're hitting.
Okay,
You can
cool.
you can do depth of field. You can you can adjust PCI sensitivity. You can you have Robert Flores doing commentary in Diamond Dynasty. Um, there's a lot like there were a lot of different things you can do that are very customizable, very quality of life type of things. You can do ABS in it. So the challenging system,
Yep.
there's so many ways that MLB The Show, as far as gameplay with baseball, it has improved,
Okay.
and and it and it overall, as far as being able to play it, it's worth its while. And franchise, I may mess around a little bit with franchise, but probably don't do any recording off of it. But I but it gives me a good it may give me a good chance to actually look and see what's going on with it, because now they've officially blended March to October or that style into franchise mode as a whole.
All
We
right.
ready to round third, head for home?
Yes, sir.
All right. As we round third and head for home, Venezuela defeated the US 3-2 in the final of the World Baseball Classic. This is the first championship for the Venezuelans.
Yay. Keep going.
Crimson Desert stumbles out of the gate following a hype train of ambition.
Hooray!
Were
Good
you
for
thinking
them.
of picking that up at any point in time?
Probably later, but I'm not in a rush because I'm just playing
I really
whatever.
think I really think we're in a wait and see. I think a lot of the reviews came out way too early in terms of the understanding of this game's cycle, but it is a game that I've heard takes forever to kind of get in and start really feeling like you're enjoying it. And
If I
that to me kind of
even if go ahead.
And that to me kind of is the biggest bummer out of it, out of the whole thing.
To me, it just seems like I don't know when I would
I,
get to it. Same with Clear Obscure 33. Like, I just don't know
oh,
when I'll get to those games, but eventually
I
at
tell
some
you what,
point.
I would get to Clair Obscure first before before Crimson Desert. I would say play that one first.
Okay.
Yep. And then opening day as it draws nigh. MLB teams are revealing new ballpark food items. Anything that was posted from ESPN strike your fancy?
The Lobstah.
Oh, that lobster poutine. Oh man, that one's good. I know my wife would not be a fan of me eating eating that, but I would down that thing in a hurry. I also found like an interesting intrigue in really the collectible that is the Washington State ferry boat.
Yep.
Um,
I have it on
the
camera
DC
right now.
Monument, yeah, the DC Monument Chicken Tower is was another really good one. Really good one. I mean, take away a couple of the ingredients that I know I would not necessarily want on it, but it it doesn't look bad. But then for me, it was the chicken and churros. I mean, maybe not big on the ancho syrup, but the chicken and churros actually that one does look good. But then the Marlins with this giant 2 foot homemade flour tortilla griddled on a flat top with melted mozzarella and Oaxaca cheeses, carne asada that's house marinated, and granted, it has a guajillo pepper sauce, salsa verde, and cilantro for the machete. That thing looks like it could very easily feed a family of 4 to
My
6
man,
one
it
sitting.
it looks like it could feed a family of 12 if it was starving children.
Oh, if it was cut the right way, yeah, I think it could.
My God, I looked at that again and I was like, I took a take and I was like, oh. I thought it was more of like a adult cocktail kind of experience where there would be a random machete that would be there for like a decor item later on, and then I saw that I'm like, oh my God, that's a lot of food.
And then the Rockies are doing a Dubai cinnamon roll,
Boring.
and then they have a Glizilla which is a 2 foot 1 pound hot dog that is more designed for sharing. You have brisket donuts in Houston. The Henny Hitter dog, which is basically a foot long corn dog with mustard and pico. I'm not big on the mustard and pico, but a foot long corn dog, yep, that's fair food.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, then lobster poutine,
I would eat that in a
fries,
heartbeat.
mixed lobster meat, clam chowder, and crispy bacon. Oh yeah, that
Hell
is the
yes. Dude, that's one thing we
that
can
is
agree
a.
on.
And then there were 6 teams that were doing that we talked that they mentioned the 9 by 9, the 999 challenge, which were the Mets, the Phillies, the Rockies, the Astros, the Giants, and the Royals.
What
All
if
have their own.
what if I made an IRL video where I tried the 9 to 9 challenge at some point?
Do I have a problem with it? 9.
Cool. I
I
got
have
the
no problem. I have no
I
problem.
I got the spouse approval. Lol.
Uh, No, I just said I have no problem with it. I mean, it's the
I'm just messing.
yeah. But yeah, I'm that looks like it's got like a chicken ten looks like that ferry boat's got like chicken tenders and fries inside of it. And
Yep.
not necessarily a fan of the sauces on the side, but oh man, that was good. And then the Rays have a it's an Oreo brownie milkshake. Not like I'm not huge on milkshakes, like overall, but man, that thing is a chocoholic paradise too. And then the Diamondbacks have to take me out to the ball game shake, which is a salted caramel shake with whipped cream, peanut butter sandwich cookies, which basically are like Nutter Butters, Kit Kat bars, and Cracker Jack. Diabetes, take the wheel.
Okay.
Yes, I just said that. And on that note, I think we gotta end it there.
Sounds like a plan,
This will
man.
go, and that'll do it for episode number 177 of the Ruckus and the Menace podcast. I'm Spence the Menace.
And I am Ruckus, always causing a ruckus, and this is episode 177 of Ruckus and the Menace podcast, the best podcast in the
And until
land.
the next and until the next one, Jose and pounds, everybody.
Deuces. We'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good time and be kind.